Welcome back. It is 9:23. October is Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month, and that means a variety of things, but we're going to talk about a little bit of education and a great new initiative to talk about some of the events going on this month. We want you to say hello to the president and CEO of the Connecticut Coalition Against Domestic Violence. I have it right?
You did.
Good, thank you. Please welcome Karen Jarmuk. Well, nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
And we were talking during the break about domestic violence, and the statistics are still staggering, and they still, every time you think that, okay, maybe, more people know that this needs to be addressed, it needs to be corrected, and where are the numbers really going?
Sure, so domestic violence is a serious public health issue. Just in Connecticut alone, there are over 40,000 victims who seek services from Connecticut's domestic violence providers in our state. We know that more than 1,000 adults and 1,200 children stay in domestic violence shelters annually in Connecticut. That's a hugely significant number. What we also know is there's that opportunity to change this, and so I'm so happy you have me on to talk about it.
Well, sure, because, in an effort to correct those numbers and to right the ship, so to speak, where do you go? How do you start the conversation, and who's the target audience?
So you start the conversation early and often, and in particular we're looking to talk to young boys and reaching out to men in the state through the I Choose campaign, which is I Choose.
Let's talk about this, because you go right to you figure young boys who are well educated when it comes to the do's and the don'ts, and more importantly, of domestic violence. Start young, and these young boys become good young men.
So domestic violence is a learned behavior, right? So if we can talk to young boys, young girls often about healthy relationships, and how do we treat our partner, and how do we exist within our family and in our community, that's impactful. And so we've partnered with the Boys and Girls Clubs across the state of Connecticut, and we're utilizing their folks also to be mentors and leaders around this issue.
Is there anything that when you talk to them, and plus you also said that these young men often become, as they get older, they become mentors in their own right, which I find fantastic because it keeps the circle going. Is there anything that they say that surprises you?
That young men say, or that these mentors say?
The young boys that don't know, that are learning.
So, part of the I Choose campaign is I choose, right? So I choose not to look the other way. I choose to stand up against violence. Those are a lot of the terminology that we're encouraging because it's impactful. I know at Trinity College later on this month at a football game, they have a lot of their players and their students participating in I Choose.
Sure.
The more people that we can make a part of this process of talking about the issue of family violence, talking about how we change behaviors, we're going to be able to make a difference and alter this.
And get it out. Talk about an event that you have celebrating a certain 100.
Yeah, so it's called the First 100. We started it 7 years ago when we started recognizing male leaders in Connecticut who are doing things in their communities to make a difference around domestic violence. Now it's men and women. It's a great event. It's October 27th at the Hartford Marriott.
It's a great breakfast. Tickets are available. And October 17th is
Purple Tie Tuesday. Men and women can wear purple that day, and hashtag Purple Tie Tuesday, and make a difference.
Well, I'll mark that on the calendar.
Please.
Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
Really, I Choose sounds like a wonderful initiative, and anything to right those wrong numbers when it comes to domestic violence sounds like a good idea to me. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. When we come back,